So is that one of the reasons why you'll have a robot arm rather than a gantry system, like most other
Yes,
3D printers, 3D printing
yes,
companies?
yes. That was the reason why we chose a robotic arm was first of all the reliability of the system. So you don't have to really worry about anything mechanical. The movement part is most of the times is taken care of. It's very easy to install, fast to install, and all these sites which we're talking about are also very remote. So what is important is how can you efficiently move the printer or the printing system to a site, and how you can disassemble it and like move it to the next site. And this is where we found that the robotic arm systems are first of all very reliable. Second of all, because we have clients around the world, we can also always source a robot locally. So we don't have to ship any system from Europe to all the way to South America. And we can always get the support locally if anything goes wrong with the robot. You know, you like Kuka, the robot which we are using has supports all around the world. So that was one of the reasons which we are using that. There are size limitations, of course, but until now we haven't faced anything where we would need to have certain other systems.
Because most of your projects are on a smaller scale.
Most of our projects are at a smaller scale. Like the largest what we have printed, which was yesterday, was 2 meter by 2 meter by 2 meter silo, and that was actually 3D printed by using geopolymer. So geopolymer, that to just add water geopolymer. So it performs the same way as normal mortar. So it is a dry mortar. Just add water, and it performs exactly the same way. So we didn't even have to use different pumping equipment, or we didn't have to make any kind of new equipment. And it's 97% recycled. So even the aggregates are recycled from mining tailing, so like mining waste. And of course the binder is also recycled. So the only 3% which is not recycled is the alkali activator. That part is not recycled, but everything else is recycled. And the carbon footprint for 1 ton of that material is 15 kilograms. So
Wow.
it's less than wood. So
I'm very fascinated with geopolymers, but I unfortunately don't know enough about them. I still have to look into it. How did y'all get into that area? Are you teaming up with some universities in Helsinki?
uh, no, so this also project came through a client. So there is a client who I cannot name. Is an industrial company, and they are in the sector, in the mining sector. So they are facing this kind of huge problem, which the mining sector on whole world faces actually. Now we have 400 billion tons of mining tailings around the world. 400, that's a ridiculous amount of mining tailing, which is just in this kind of like very large ponds
Okay.
with a lot of water. And this all can be used as aggregate. Of course there needs to be some kind of post processing to be done, but after that it's exactly performs as aggregate. So you can actually replace a sand, like by using mining tailing, because sand is also a big problem, as you know, that
Yes.
sand is the most mined material on the planet, and we are running out of sand. Like China is importing sand from Africa. So we need to solve the problem of sand. We need to solve the problem of cement. So how do you solve it is creating new kind of geopolymer or like alkali activated material by not using cement and by not using sand.
Do you think 3D printing is one of the like ideal tools we can use to explore this area of geopolymers?
Yes, I believe so, because because we are at the cusp of this kind of new technology, which also gives us this freedom that when all these companies are designing these new inks or new 3D printed mortar, why not create a completely new mortar which is recycled, like 97% recycled? So this is like the perfect opportunity to explore new type of materials, to see what kind of sustainable sources which we can source the material from, and reduce our dependencies on really carbon intensive materials.
Are there any structural concerns when using geopolymers?
There are. So right now, the only thing which we can guarantee is compressive strength, because this is something which we have tested. But all other tests, freeze and thaw, chloride ion, all this has to be still performed. So this will take some time for this material to be used commercially in a scale where it can be used. But we have to start somewhere.